All right, Lynn Orman here, usually with the Southern Fried Paranormal, coming on at 10 o'clock Central, and it is about 3 minutes till, about 2.5 minutes till normal show. We were scheduled to have Greg Stevens talking about his RIP event next weekend, not this weekend. He was delayed during catching a flight. It's just something out of his control, out of my control. It's really nobody's fault. I'm not blaming him at all. It's just one of those things, and it's just too late to get another guest. I was sleeping this afternoon. I have had a very, very, very long, tiring day. Just got our internet back. I had to go. We had reprogrammed the box. Our internet provider lost their internet provider a week and a half ago. I believe it was Sunday or Monday night of last week when they lost their provider, AT&T, and are now going with Verizon. It looks like there's a little bit more speed there, but that remains to be seen. It could be simply because there's not that many people who have made the switch over yet with them. Maybe Verizon gives us a little bit more speed in the internet out here in the country, and we'll be able to broadcast the show a little bit easier. Right now, it looks promising. Anyway, uh, we will be not having a show tonight. In fact, this is all the show there is going to be tonight. I am exhausted. Uh, Greg Stevens is not going to be able to be here. I'm hoping to get together him this weekend, and I will go live if and when, as long as WLFE, the host network, is not having a show uh, late tomorrow night, and they don't have a show scheduled for late on Saturday night. Maybe I can crank up tomorrow night, or excuse me, or Saturday night, or Friday, or Sunday, and go ahead and talk about Greg Stevens' RIP event, which is next week. Let me see if I can throw that up. Here we are. Here, Reboot Recovery with RIP Ray Chagers, Chris and Mike. The benefiting the Reboot Recovery Veteran Suicide Awareness. That is next Saturday, October 22nd, 2022, 2 p.m. to 11:59, basically midnight, at the AN Media House, 304 Rucker Street, Cranberry, Texas. Uh, that event is not this week, obviously, the 22nd. It is next weekend. I urge people who are in that area to go. This is the event we were going to talk about tonight. And he was unable to appear because missed a flight or got tied up at the airport one way or the other. Not sure of the details. Don't care. It's not his fault. Uh, but I was going to go through the show the best I could. Kind of let Greg carry it because I'm just falling asleep at the wheel. So what I'm going to do is just uh, do a whiff, take a mulligan on tonight's show, and do a show when I can get with Craig when he is available and not tied up at the airport. Next week, Jamie Lynn Keller will be our guest on a live show. The next week, on the 27th, we'll be having Holly Mullins on a recorded show. Next week, this weekend or next week, we will be recording a show from her. She's on the East Coast. She cannot stay up till 11 o'clock on a Thursday night. People do have to work. And that will be a recorded show. It will be new, but it will be recorded. Now, on Halloween, which is Monday, uh, 2 weeks from now, 2.5 weeks from now, on the 31st, I will be doing a series of broadcasts. Hope we'll go live for the majority of Halloween night. We'll also be doing a little bit of show the Sunday before, celebrating the Day of the Dead, and a little bit on the 1st of November, again, continuing celebration of Day of the Dead, which, if you look it up and get to studying Day of the Dead, it is a 3-day celebration. Halloween is just a part of it. And so we will be exploring that, telling some stories, and how though the Day of the Dead figures in with Halloween and what you're supposed to do the days of the Day of the Dead. So we'll be doing all that live in a couple of weeks. But this week, sorry to say, not going to be doing a whole lot just because Greg, like I said, got tied up at the airport, and I am just exhausted. Been going since early this morning on just a little bit of sleep, and like I said, I'm just asleep at the wheel. As you can tell, I'm repeating myself. At least I have internet. Our main internet with last week's show. I was kicked out a couple of times. The guest, Greg Kazmarek, gratefully caught on to the fact real quick and kept talking, even though I was completely gone. Thanks to the people at StreamYard who were able to continue broadcasting the show, even though the host was completely offline for a couple of different times for 2 or 3 minutes each time. But the show continued, and nobody really noticed anything except that I just disappeared off the screen. I was completely gone because I was using my phone hotspot. As people who have used their phone as a hotspot, that is not the fastest internet in the world because you're going out on a cell phone signal, and depends on how many people are using the cell phone at that particular time. And it's just not fast during the best of times. But we got our internet back. We're with a new provider now instead of AT&T. Our internet provider will be using Verizon as their internet provider. So we'll see how it works out. But at least I got it. We got it going. The lights are all flashing green. And I'm broadcasting right now over it. It seemed to have some pretty decent speed. Because out in the country, we just don't have high-speed internet. And we will be, in the next couple of years, trying to work on this and see if we can do something else. In the meantime, all we can do is just carry on with what we got. All right. Just to review real quick, Greg Stevens or VAR-IP on his event here. The banner's up and showing right now. Is unable to appear tonight because of airplane conflicts at the airport. And I am just, like I said, I'm dead on my feet. So I'm basically going to bed. And I say the paranormal never sleeps. Sometimes we go without sleep for so long and we end up falling out. And today's been a hard day. I've done a lot of lifting and carrying, something that maybe a 66-year-old with 2 fake knees shouldn't be doing. But this stuff's got to be done. So it got done, and it's done all wear and tear on me. Anyway, I'll see if I can get back together with Greg sometime this weekend or maybe first part of next week and make up this show. Next week, J.B. Lane Keller. She will be live on Thursday on the 27th. Holly Mullins will be doing a new but yet to be recorded show. She cannot be up this late on Thursday night. So we will be having her on a recorded show. It's new. Haven't done it yet. And this next, we'll hopefully get together this coming week and go ahead and record that show with her. And it will be shown on the 27th as a new show. On Halloween, on the 30th, I will be doing a little bit of Day of the Dead. It's kind of the slowest day, the first day of Day of the Dead. Of course, 31st on Halloween. Hopefully, I will be able to do an outside show, depending on the rain. And burn bans. We are in a drought here in Arkansas. We've had a couple of showers last couple of nights, but it's nothing to put a dent in the rain. We need some rain in the next week or two, then let it dry out for 2 or 3 days so I can go ahead and have a bonfire on Halloween night. If not, I'll be outside. If it's fair, it's not raining, I'll be outside. Just no fires, no bonfire. But in broadcasting probably from about 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock Eastern to probably 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning with various guests. I've invited quite a few people. I'll be sending the link out to the show. If you only want to appear for about 5 minutes and just show yourself in costume, that's fine. So, we have a lot of hours to fill. Yeah, I'll be reading some scary stories, talking about some of these scary experiences I've had which is why I don't want to go into it tonight. Plus, I'm too sleepy and tired to read stories tonight, or even to do a Echovox session. I'm just too exhausted. So that's what we'll be having the rest of this month. If anybody would like to appear next month in November, I would like to do live shows. Let me look at the calendar. November 3rd, 10th, 17th. Go do some live shows with a live guest and get somebody who would like to appear on the 24th and do a recorded show previously for that. So I'm available anytime to just let me know when you would like to record the show for Thanksgiving, so I can throw that up as a recorded, so you and I both can celebrate Thanksgiving with our families. But I would have a new show to put up for Thanksgiving for those people who want to get away from their families and see a good paranormal discussion. All right, let me move on. This has been a 12-minute little blurb about Enon Show. If I don't get to talk with Craig this next week, be sure and attend his event. It's here right here on your screen. Reboot Recovery with RIP and the Race Chasers, Chris and Mike. Celebrity Ghost Hunts benefits or the Reboot Recovery Veteran Suicide Awareness. That's Saturday week, as we say down south. And for those people who are not familiar with the South, that's not this Saturday. That's the next Saturday, October 22nd. This is not day after tomorrow. This is the next week. That's why it's called Saturday week. It starts at 2 p.m. till midnight. There's the address right there. Neely House, 304 East Rucker Street in Granbury, Texas. So if you're in that area, if you're in the Texas area, be sure and go to that event. The benefits go to a very worthy cause. Greg is a nice guy. Greg Stevens, he could not show up tonight because of airport issues. This is not his fault. And I'm lethargic because it's my own fault. But sometimes life intervenes, and I'm too old for this, as I believe the popular saying. Anyway, be sure and tune in, watch your notices, like, share, subscribe if you're on Facebook. If you're on, if you're on YouTube, you see when I'm tired. On Facebook, the Southern Fried Paranormal is where I normally have the show. This is being broadcast on my regular Lynn Dorman profile and my Twitter account. So Twitter, just send me a friend request. If you're on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe. If you're on Facebook, if you're watching this, we're already friends on the Lynn Dorman profile. Please follow or like the Southern Fried Paranormal podcast page, which is connected to this profile. All right. Have a good night. I'm going to go collapse and into a hunk of jelly and hopefully get some sleep and get some rest tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm just going to take it easy. Got some meat to work on. It's in the country, so it's always something you got to work on. But hopefully I can go lay down, chill out, sleep for 12 or 14 hours straight, and then I'll be ready to meet that head on. Hopefully, also Greg Stevens will be available this weekend, first part of next week, so we can go ahead and have a show, so he can promote his Reboot Recovery Paranormal event, Saturday, October 22nd, 2 p.m. to midnight. All right. Have a good night, and we'll see you next week live with Jamie Lynn Keller. Have a good night, and God bless.